What is going on? This is Mark from Linux Gaming Central. Today we're going to be taking a look at Battleship. This is the native PC port for Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64. And we're going to be looking at getting that set up on Linux/Steam Deck. If we head over to the releases page, I do want to mention that this project is very fast-paced as far as development is concerned. There's an update to this almost every day, so chances are by the time you're watching this video, there's probably going to be a new update. So we have experimental Android build, but I will not be walking through that in today's video. We have Windows, the app image for Linux/Steam Deck, and Mac. Like I said, I'm going to be walking through the Linux version. The Windows version is fairly similar. The folder structure is a little different. The Windows version is portable, so just download the app image here. And if I go to my downloads folder, there it is right there. I'm going to right click this, go to properties, and under the permissions tab, make sure this is marked as executable. And what I like to do with app images in particular is I like to create a applications folder inside of my home directory, and then put the app image inside its own folder. Okay, now obviously you will need your own copy of Super Smash Bros. 64 backed up from your Nintendo 64. I will not be demonstrating how to obtain that ROM. You are responsible for obtaining that ROM yourself. So let's go ahead and open this app image, and it's going to ask us to locate the Smash 64 ROM. So in my case, I'm going to click the browse button here, and here is my ROM right here, Smash 64. And we're going to click extract. And if we go inside of our home folder, .local.share, this Battleship folder will be created once we open up the application, and there's our configuration files there. So once I click extract, we now have our extracted assets here. And for some reason, Battleship just decided to crash. Let me try opening this back up. Okay, good. Okay, so now it is running. I'm just gonna widen this up a little bit. And I'm going to start changing some things here. I'm going to change the color of the menu theme. I'm going to enable menu controller navigation. I'm going to disable background inputs, and I'm going to enable Discord Rich Presence. Under graphics, I just leave everything as is. Widescreen is enabled by default. If for some reason you want to disable that, you can do so here. There are some quality of life things that we can add under the gameplay tab here. If you want to use a competitive rule set, you can do that. If you want neutral spawns on Dreamland, you can do that as well. If you want to boot directly to the versus screen, you can do so here. Skip the results screen, all that stuff. That's not important for this video, but these are optional if later on you decide you want to use any of these. Now, as far as controls are concerned, I'm using a Xbox style controller, and I'm just going to adjust some of these buttons, like for example the A button. I'm going to swap it with the B button, and the B button will become the A button. The L button is to taunt, so I will keep that as the left shoulder button here. The R button is to grab, so I will change this to the right button. Z is for shielding, so in addition to the left trigger, I will also add the right trigger. And what I'm going to do here is, as far as the D-pad is concerned, I'm going to change D-pad up to the Y button, and D-pad left to the X button, and I'll explain why in a second here. And then I'm just going to leave everything else as is. Under controls, this is a bit of a controversial topic among the competitive Smash community as far as whether or not to disable the tap jump, but I do not like having tap jump enabled, so I'm going to keep that off. If you want to use the right stick on your controller to use smash attacks similar to later Smash games, you can do so as well here. And while this is enabled, I am also going to enable the D-pad to jump, and that's why in the input tab here, I set D-pad up to Y and left to X. So now I can jump with the X and Y buttons. If you want to adjust any of these volume levels, you can do so here. Under the cheats tab, I'm just going to unlock everything. I want all the characters and I want all these features. I want to emphasize that this mods tab is only available on the US version. If you are using the Japanese version, this tab isn't even going to show up at all. Alright, now if you want to enable the high resolution texture pack, you can do so here. It should be checked by default. And what you're going to want to do is if you want to use the texture pack, you're going to click open mods folder. Okay, for some reason that didn't open up, but it should be right here. .local share battleship under this mods folder. And then you're going to head over to this website here and download Super Smash Bros. Reloaded and make sure this is selected, Battleship. And then you're going to download this. This is going to be a compressed PNG archive. I already have that downloaded. That's right here. So I'm just going to open this up. And I'm going to extract this right into the mods folder. I'm going to close Battleship, open it back up, and hopefully we should have HD textures. Yep, you can already see it. Man, that looks beautiful. Okay, so that's if you want to enable high-res textures. There is a built-in updater, so if there's a new update, you can have a download button right here. It'll update the application for you, and that's about it. Another thing that gets frequently asked is whether or not Battleship will get Smash Remix support. This, unfortunately, is going to be quite a ways before it gets implemented. You can see this GitHub thread for more information about that. Smash Remix is basically its own game, and it's just going to take quite some time to figure out how to backport all of the new characters and stages from Remix over into Battleship. Alright, that'll wrap up this tutorial. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. There is also a Discord for Battleship right here on the GitHub, which you can access right here. If you want to file an issue, you can do so as well. Or if you want to file a bug report in the Discord itself, you can also do that.